Hold up, Governor.
Hmm?
Was that you, Luna?
No?
Then Alice?
You honestly think that a voice that coarse, could come from a throat as fine as this?
Then that was me, mate. Hey, over here.
Sigma, look! What is that?
That's what the button did.
Oh.
Blimey, that hurts. Ain't right for a fella's back to feel like this. It's a robot.
And it's talking. With an accent.
Can't help it, Flower. Didn't choose to talk like this. Not by half. Now, Alice, darling. Do I rightly recollect you characterized my speech as coarse? Well, that's right cruel it is. Really think I asked for this? See, they figure they'd give us all a, what you call 'em, personality. Some tosser thought to give me this one. Ain't right, I tell you. Good tea and crumpets. So, what the hell are you? Cooper. If you're a barrel maker, I'm an astronaut. Ah ha 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 ha. Right you are, me old son, right you are. Well, go on, have a butcher's, mate. What do I look like to you? Robot, you say? Nearly there, but they call us golems around here.
Golem? Oh, I've heard of golems. They're sort of monsters, I guess, from Jewish folklore. They're made from clay. They look like men. They're supposed to do whatever the master or creator or whatever commands them to do.
Well, you're a clever bird. You are, of course, correct. The golem of myth is a clay creation that moves under its own power. Our spelling's a mite different, though. The original blokes are spelt Golem, but me and me mates are Gaulem. That's the acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labor Electronic Machine. Truth to tell, it's a bit rubbish when you write it all out like that, but I figure they wanted to make sure they had the golem thing in there, but with us being robots and all. So, should I just call you Golem? That don't seem quite kosher. After all of me mates here are golems too. I couldn't very well call all of you lot human, could I?
What should we call you then?
Well, we all got a product idea, and they're unique. I figure that's as good a name as any.
And your ideas?
GTM, CM, GOLM. Whoa.
That's way too long. We can't remember that.
You're taking the mickey out of me. I've had a problem myself. Right then, let's just use the last bit, shall we?
Golm. Golem.
Come on, man, that's Golem. Well, I'll be buggered. Can't say I haven't noticed that before. Sure is a strange coincidence, ain't it? Alright, Golem. You said Alice, darling, a little bit ago, right? What, a gentleman can't say something nice to a pretty young bird, eh? No, I don't care if you call her darling. What I'm saying is you called her Alice. How did you know her name? Well, she isn't the only one of you lot whose name I know. I know who you are, Sigma. And you too, Luna. I'm right familiar with all 9 of you.
How?
You don't know? They got cameras all over this place. And again, lenses aren't much bigger than a screw. And they're all hidden away, so I suppose I can't really blame you for missing them, you know. Now, as I was saying, there are these cameras, you see. And all the data they record gets sent off to the mainframe in real time. So I just gave the main core a ring, got those videos, and now I know everything you've done. Then...
Does that mean you're Zero Junior?
Blimey! Are you bleeding serious? You got me off your box if you think I'm a young Master Zero. The young Master is the right proper AI, which supervises all the electronic bits and bobs in this place. My humble self, and those with the misfortune to be like me, are more akin to computer terminals, but merely borrowing a bit of the central core. So golems are kind of like Zero Junior's servants? No, not quite, Governor. Not quite. I'd say me and my mates here are more like, arms and legs, right? Now, you lot don't have brains in your arms and legs, do you?
Of course not.
Right you are, missus. It'd be all sorts nasty if your elbows and that lumpy bit on your ankle was all packed with brains. Well, we're like your arms or legs. The golem's seat of consciousness, so to speak, ain't in the head. Fact of the matter is, it's not in anywhere in the body. Which makes a fellow wonder, where is it?
In the mainframe?
Spot on. So that part of me thinks it's in the mainframe. Everything this here body sees and hears, what have you, that all gets sent back there. And the mainframe does some sort of computer jiggery pokery. It comes up with some decisions, and those decisions get commands. Those commands get sent out over the wireless like whoop, 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 and eventually my body picks them up. Finally, those commands cause actions what move the various bits of my body. That's why this thing's like a computer terminal, you see. The body is just an output device of sorts. If we were talking about one of the personal computers here, you could say a golem's kind of like a monitor.
Huh. Wait a minute. Then wouldn't that make you part of Zero Junior?
I suppose you could say that, but with us sharing the mainframe and all. But I don't know shit all about this game he's running. That part of the mainframe's locked away from the rest of us. I'm an independent core. Zero and I are two different blokes. You recollect what Golem stands for, eh? I'm autonomous. But if that's the case, your hands and feet analogy doesn't really make sense. My arms and legs aren't autonomous. They don't just move on their own. You sure, Governor? I watched you cross your arms just now. Huh? And now you're frowning and your forehead's getting all wrinkly. Do you do these things on purpose? When you cross your arms, were you thinking, right then, let's cross them, shall we? Go on down then, mouth. Oh, and eyebrows, I'd be much obliged if you'd squeezed in a bit. There's a good pair of lokes. That's what you was thinking, innit? No? Didn't reckon so. I figured you did all that subconsciously. Ain't no man on earth who says to himself, feeling a bit nervous, I'll just twitch me leg around for a bit. Who's thinking real hard about something and says to themselves, well, I think I'll just give the old loaf a scratch, that'll help. How's about when you reach for your tea? Or you turn a page in a book? Or what about when your eyes just go straight for a pair on that bird you fancy? Well, this goes on, me chums. But all those things are your subconscious at work. True, when part of your body does something, it's because your brain said so. But that don't mean your conscious mind is involved. Fact is, it can't be. If your brain had to deal with all the piddly bits of living, it'd make you balmy. That's how us golems and the young master get along. You got it all sorted now, chums.
Then you're saying that Zero Junior is the central part of the mainframe and that the golems are like his hands and feet?
Righto. Blimey. Guess I shouldn't be talking about such heavy rubbish, eh? My shoulders are all stiff. You're a robot. How can your shoulders get stiff?
And you said your back hurt earlier. Are you just messing with us?
Yes, I did, and no, I ain't. Me back is the right mess it is. Last maintenance check, they just left me here. I've been on this bed here for years. The lubricant for me joints is all gummed up. Every time I move, it hurts.
But why did you wake up again after all this time?
What do you think, love? 'Cause you lot turned me on is why. Especially the other missus over there. Oh yeah, that button on top of the safe. Right you are, governor.
Can you come with us, then? The others need to see this.
No, I can't, and more's the pity. I can only go as far as this cable here will let me. I got internal batteries, but they're knackered. Matter of fact, that's why I was in here for maintenance in the first place. Same goes for the other blokes, too. Of course, they ain't connected to a power cable like I am, so they aren't going anywhere for any time soon. I see. So, you aren't gonna answer my question. So you aren't gonna answer my question.
Wow, Sigma. That's insensitive.
Huh? What question is that? I asked you how your shoulders can get stiff if you're a robot. Right, so you did. Not sure why you got a bug up your ass about that particular issue, though. I mean, I guess it's not really important, but I'm just cautious, I suppose.
Cautious.
Curious, I suppose. Curious, are you? That's a good word, that is. A good, powerful word.
Stiff shoulders.
What?
Sigma doesn't trust people with stiff shoulders.
Yeah. That's
cautious, you never know.
That's a good word, that is. A good, powerful word. The kind of word that'll send a robot's heart aflutter. Let's get you started then, shall we? Just lend me your lords and peers for a tick.
Get your ears.
Lords and peers. Okay.
Lords and peers are ears.
Yeah. Cockney rhyming slang, everybody.
Yeah, I still remember from Ringo and the other boy.
Are you completely neglecting our good friend Gina?
Did she actually use Cockney slang?
Oh yeah.
I know she spoke in Cockney, but I wasn't sure she said in Cockney.
No, she often said stuff like apple and pears and instead of stairs and stuff like that.
That's the apples and pears for you.
So how can a robot get stuff for shoulders? What does pain mean to a robot? Tell me, Gov, you ever heard of the Chinese room?
Oh my god.
Without waiting for an answer, Golem launched into his explanation. Do you know the Chinese room?
It's just like Lotus all over again.
Somewhere, a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. Why does it matter that she's pretty? The door of the room has a slot and a number of Chinese people outside the room keys slide slips of paper to the girl.
What does it matter that they're Chinese?
Well, because that's the name of the thought experience of the Chinese room. On the Chinese piece of paper are questions written naturally in Chinese. Fortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. They just have to pick a language for the thought experiment. Then,
should have been Italian. Spaghetti,
she might have been able to kind of deduce parts of it, though, then. Then how could she? She's never learned Chinese. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never even heard it. So for this unfortunate young lady, each note looks like nothing more than a bunch of strange symbols. Before she was locked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received, and slip that answer back to the slot. Once the Chinese questions began to show up, however, she found herself at a loss. Oh dear, she says to herself. Why can't I read these at all? Whatever am I to do? It's at that moment she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers that they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation of what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these? The questions keep coming. More and more of them. She finds a set of characters that correspond to the set of characters of the paper and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of here. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here, they give her some twice-cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a reggae dancer. When was your first kiss? When I was 14. He was a grade ahead of me in school. What color of underwear are you wearing? Black. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? Beat the stuffing out of whoever's sending me these questions with the pan you cook that twice-cooked pork in. All these questions were written in Chinese, and the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrase book onto the slips of paper with no idea what any of it meant. Incidentally, she doesn't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she never even kissed a boy. Also, she's wearing white underwear. Anyway. Yes?
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty, or well, we need to know what color underwear she was wearing?
Can't say there is. Just tickles me fancy, I guess. But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story, isn't it? Exactly.
What? What?
Right, well, what I wanted to say was this. All the Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books, which she had. So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese, just like them. You see? After all, as far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinwag with one of their countrymen. Okay, interesting. What does that have to do with your shoulders, or a robot feeling pain? You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot bother. Well, hold up, mate. This ain't right. We keep this up and we're buggered. If things really go pear-shaped, they'll be brown bread.
Brown bread is dead.
Yeah. Well, it says the central computer chart, so seeing that things are bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from its unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wireless. And my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing. It's the same, ain't it? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying that robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
Use your loaf, missy. You listen to a word I said? A human feels pain when you do something you shouldn't. Like sit your bum down on a tack, right? Oh god, my throat. Same thing for us robots. I continue to... God, this voice.
Listen. It's,
I mean, they talked about how coarse it sounded, so...
yeah.
If you feel like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot. Forget about all that mainframe and signal bollocks, and it's us golems aren't that different from the bird in the room. So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same? Just without all the electronic-y pony. What if, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain? Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but as far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, ain't it? If you're actually a thinking creature, or if you're just some kind of language processing machine. All what matters is what the person next to you does what a human ought. Looks like a human, acts like a person, and talks like a person. It's probably a person. You want to live a normal life, that's all you need to know. Hey, can I ask you something? Lay it on me, governor. Why do you stop us? Ah, right you are, mate. Right you are. Got so carried away I near forgot. I haven't seen anyone for yonks. I got mighty excited is all.
Just spit it out.
Right. Well, there was something I wanted to tell you a lot.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts at the moment, but I ain't really supposed to be. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here. Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons because we are a bit like skeletons. There's a special artificial biological tissue, what's called ABT. When a golem's all new and shiny, they got on a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, what does. Even feels like real skin with pores, a little bit of hair, a few pimples, scars, and the like. Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you. So you're right in the middle of...
Command violation. Rogue processes detected. Product ID GTM-CM-GOLM. Executing emergency deactivation. Unit GTM-CM-GOLM now inactive. No other rogue processes detected in additional golem platforms. Returning to surveillance mode. Did Zero just shut him down?
It looks like it.
Damn it.
I wonder what he was trying to tell us. See, right in the middle of...
Right in the middle of what? An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes. What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Shit, why would they do that?
We have to hurry.
Right, let's go.
All of that nonsense.
Oh, there was a point.
The
You'll find out next year, maybe.
Sure. You know, like this is Funyarimpa all over again.
Just try to make sure to file it away somewhere in your brain that's accessible again. Push out other unnecessary stuff if needed, like stuff about your boyfriend.
Like that's essentially what it all boils down to, I'm sure. Or somebody's like a hot Japanese, no, a hot girl in a Chinese room. That's what it was.
Or somebody had pork fried rice.
Twice cooked pork.
Twice cooked pork. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Twice cooked pork is great. I don't know if you've had it.
I prefer thrice cooked pork.
Thrice? I mean, maybe, but it's like pretty char at that point.
He pushed the magenta door and ran into the warehouse. There stood Phi, Dio, and K. Hey, what the hell, guys?
Why did you open the 8B gate before everybody got back?
I apologize. We only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
Humph. You got a problem with that?
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up. This isn't about promises. Are you stupid or just an asshole?
Probably both. You were able to get back here in time, but what about the others? Temyoji, Quark, Clover are still out there somewhere. What are you planning to do if they don't get back in time?
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just because their vote automatically set to ally. Seems pretty straightforward to me. So what if they don't get back in time? I'll get set to ally, and all three of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. Figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. That'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9, so it's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me. Didn't you guys find a note? What? What is this? We found it in our safe. Read it. Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then everybody gets penalized. In other words, one person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. What the hell, man? This was in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
There was no such note in our safe. Well, damn, that's a bummer. I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this. Really? Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time's running out,
They'll be penalized, yes.
I know. Quark is part of that team. Maybe something happened with him.
You seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors.
This is bad.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's Alice? She was here just a minute ago.
Two Milkmen Go Comedy.
Took me only a moment to spot her. She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What she was looking at, I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when... Whoa, hey guys.
Quark! Has Quark been here?
Did something happen to him? He disappeared.
Well, at least she looks happy about it. Disappeared? What do you mean?
I mean, he's gone. We can't find him anywhere.
God.
When was the last time you saw him? Listen, I'm reading the line as the character model is presenting itself.
We're headed back. We're headed back here.
Temioji and I went to the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but when he didn't
He
get...
didn't respond. We ran back the way we come.
I want to explain it.
You couldn't find him.
Right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked his crew quarters in the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either. Alright. We need to split up. If we can't find him in any of the 4A rooms, we'll move to 4B. Okay. I need to go tell Alice. You guys going ahead.
Great, you do that. Crew quarters.
Crew quarters more than meets the eye.
Hey, Quark! Quark!
Quark.
What?
There's a body outline on that bed. Oh, there's a body outline on this bed too.
Well, you need to know where to sleep.
Yeah.
He's not here. I checked both rooms.
Wow, good job. All by yourself. He's not in the other two either. There's no one here.
Tenmyoji and Kay are in the lounge, and Dio and Luna should be checking the infirmary.
Right. Okay, let's leave that to them and head to 4B.
Ding, 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 ding. Here we are, elevator. We need to load in to show that they are going in the elevator. Riding the elevator.
It's a very Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, we're there. Now, close the elevator. You went through the red door with Dio and Kay, right?
Yeah, so?
What was on the other side of that door?
You want to see it?
Yeah. Maybe Quark went there.
Fine. Follow me.
Pantry.
Yum yum yum. Snackies.
This is
The pantry.
pantry?
That drawer over there, stuff for processed food. Wasn't that bad, actually.
You ate it?
Yeah. There was some paella, nasi goreng, schnitzel, yucagan, borscht, tom kha gai. Oh, and I ate the chef's pasta, too.
That's a lot of food.
Can't help it. I'm a growing girl.
How old are you?
20, I think.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just stop. I don't even know where to start here. 1. By the time you hit 20, you've done growing. 2. You think? You should be old enough to know how old you are. 3. How on earth are you 20? You look like you're 13 if you're a day. What? I can't believe you're only 2 years younger than me. What?
You look if you're 13 if you're in a day. Now that's funny. You must have done a lot of drugs to look like that at 22.
Well, give me a break, you little punk.
Don't call me little. I'm an adult, you dried up asshole.
Gah. Fine, whatever. This place has enough food to keep people alive for a few years, huh? Looks like this stuff isn't going to expire anytime soon.
Yeah, the use by date is about 100 years from now.
How about water?
There's a tank over there. Looks like they're pulling it out of some kind of wheel.
Wheel?
Wheel.
Is it safe?
Well, since Dio isn't rolling around on the floor in agonizing pain, I'm going to go ahead and assume it's okay.
Made him drink it to make sure it was safe.
I guess you could say that.
So you ate all the food without a second thought, but the water struck you as possibly dangerous.
No, I was careful with the food too. Dio had some of it first, and it seemed fine, so I... Oh! I almost forgot!
What?
I ate something else! Twice cooked pork!
Well, for God's sake, why the hell are you shouting about that? Wait a minute. Twice cooked pork?
What is it?
Well, that just reminded me of something.
Reminded you of what?
This might seem hard to believe at...
Bullshit.
Well, come on, at least let me tell you first.
Meh.
Alright. Explained how we'd found a room called the Golem Bay on the other side of the green door, and how we'd met a robot there named Golem who told a very interesting story.
I see. So the golem guy was turned off just when he's about to tell you something.
Yeah.
So the last thing he said was see, right in the middle of?
Yeah.
Right in the middle. Middle could be from Middle Kingdom, which is another name for China.
Well, this is utterly pointless.
Really? I don't think so.
Please explain.
Well, maybe he was trying to say that this game is like the Chinese room. In other words, Sigma, Phi! There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
What's going on?
Something bad. Something really bad.
Come on, spell it.
Alice. Alice is. Just come with me. She's in the crew quarters.
Well, time to go check on Alice. What? No, this isn't real. All I could hear were Zero's words echoing in my ears. Your heart stops, your bracelet comes off. If you've never been in turbulence, it's hard to explain. You feel the sudden alien weightlessness of a long fall, and for just a moment you're painfully aware of the fact that you're thousands of feet above the earth, in a flimsy machine made by fallible man, kept aloft by a scientific principle that nobody actually understands. If you've never seen a friend dead, it's hard to explain, but it's a little like that. I knelt down beside Alice's body and pressed a shaking hand to her throat. No pulse. Her skin had already turned pale. The thing in front of me looked like a human being, but it wasn't being a human any longer.
Oh.
Why had this happened? I knelt there for several long moments, staring blankly ahead. My throat burned and my chest was tight, but I forced myself to take 3 progressively calmer breaths, and then stood. I clenched my fist, took one last breath, and turned. Who found her first? Me. I was looking for Quark on floor B and couldn't find him. So I came back here and... well, you know the rest. Hey, what's that look supposed to mean? You better not be thinking I did it. Well, suspicion often falls on the first to discover a crime. Fuck that. She'd already been murdered when I got here.
How do you know she was murdered?
What? Come on, it's obvious. She got a knife sticking out of her chest. Does that look like an accident or a suicide to you?
How do you know the weapon was a knife?
What?
All you can see from here is the handle. For all you know, it could have been an ice pick or some kind of tool.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, come on, who wouldn't look at that and assume it's a knife? It's not fair to suspect someone just because they happen to be the first one to find the body. What do you thought I self-reported? If you want to be like that, then the last person to see Alice is the person you should be looking at.
Who was the last person to see her? I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead. Alice? Why? This wasn't supposed to happen.
God, you're gonna really do that the whole time.
You promised we'd catch them together. Don't do this.
Clover.
Do you want me to not emote based on the...
I mean, I think you should probably do it the way it's supposed to be. Sound.
I'm just saying, people are going to come into the stream and I'm going to be like, why does he sound different than what the character's emoting?
I mean, most people coming to the stream probably played this game before, so they know how she sounds.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to recenter my entire angle.
Okay, it's centered.
I can't trust him anymore. It could have been any of them. They killed you, Alice. I can't forgive them for that. I'm going to get revenge. I'll find out who killed you, and I'll...
Hey, Clover.
Shut up! Don't you talk to me!
Poor Clover. Everyone she loves always gets killed.
I'm sorry, Alice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. Before anyone could say anything, she turned and ran out of the room.
Like, would it have been that hard for them to put the frowny face on that model? No.
No, I've read that it's literally just broken, that it wasn't supposed to have that all the time.
Wait. Clover, come back.
Tenmyoji took off in pursuit, and I made to follow in. It's pointless. Even if you caught up to her, she'd never tell you anything. Think it through. There are two possibilities. Either Clover killed her, or she didn't. If the former is true, then I doubt she would confess. If the latter is true, then I imagine she'll be just as reticent. After all, Alice and Clover seem to know each other. In fact, they seem quite close. Seems safe to assume that Clover is currently very suspicious of all of us. I doubt she would open up to anyone right now. You seem pretty calm. Did you do it? Not again. Well, if you really want to suspect me, please go ahead. I'm beginning to feel rather accustomed to it. I would ask you to consider my motive for killing Alice, specifically the fact that I have none.
Well, yes, but none of us do. None of us ever met Alice before, right? So why would we want to kill her?
You are correct, but only if the murder had a motive beyond, well, murder. What do you mean? Do you remember when we found the old woman? It seemed clear that her killer was Zero Senior, and that they were one of us. There is every reason to think the same person murdered Alice. Perhaps this person plans to kill us one by one. Perhaps the entire nonary game is just window dressing. Perhaps the only reason we are here is so that Zero Senior can kill us at his leisure in a world of his own creation.
Why would anyone do such a horrible thing?
Presumably because they enjoy killing. Zero Senior seems to be rather disturbed. Hold on a minute. That doesn't mean they're one of us. There could be a 10th person hiding out somewhere.
No.
Well, why not?
There's no way Zero Jr. would notice that. And if he did notice, I really don't think he'd just let something like that slide. But isn't Zero Jr. just an AI without a body? What could he do? Well, maybe, but Zero Senior has a body. Do you think they'd really just let a 10th unwanted participant to just run around murdering people?
Well, what if the 10th person is Zero Senior? Not possible. At least not so long as we assume Zero Jr.'s statement to be the truth. Do you remember? You made it quite clear that the real Zero was one of us. I thought about what Kay had said. If the killer was Zero Senior, then who could be the killer? Dio? Luna?
Yeah,
Kay, perhaps?
it was Luna.
Or maybe Clover.
Luna did it.
There was always Tenmyoji. 5, maybe? No, it couldn't be her.
Single person?
I had been with Fi the whole time we were looking for Quark. There was no way she could have slipped away to stab Alice in the chest. Wait a minute. There's one person I'd forgotten. Quark. Seemed like a bit of a stretch to think a kid could kill someone of Alice's size, though. That meant there were 5 real suspects. Dio, Luna, Kay, Clover, and Tenmyoji. Where had Quark gone? 10 minutes remain until Ambidex's game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally. Apparently Zero doesn't feel this is worth stopping the game for. A blunt but effective way to make the point. What do you mean? We should get to the warehouse. It seems clear he feels no compunction about killing us, should we disobey the rules. As such, I recommend we follow them. The others filed out of the room. I turned to face Alice. What?
You wanna know what I think?
What do you think?
I think Alice killed herself. And I think we're Zero.
Alice. Found out who did this to you. I promise. Felt my stomach settle back into its normal configuration. The fire in my chest melted the icy hand from my spine. I stood up straight, gave Alice one last nod, and walked after the others, leaving my regrets lying on the cold floor.
I wish nods were like something you could physically hand to people. It's like, here you go, my last nod.
I'd give you like a trunk full of nods for like your birthday.
Yeah, every time we saw each other.
And every time we saw each other, we nodded.
No,
That doesn't work.
no! Out of context. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
Hey, look, 2 of the AB gates are closed already.
Probably Timmy, OG, and Clover.
Wasn't he a pair? Doesn't Quark need to go with him?
As long as one person's in each pair is there, it should be okay.
Sharing their destiny, huh?
Pretty much.
That's good news for you, Sigma. After all, you're a pair, but your partner is... Well, I'd rather not say it. Yeah, I know. Good luck for you, huh, Luna?
What? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, if Alice was still alive, you'd have a hard time choosing Trey. She only had 1 BP left. If you'd picked Betray, you could have killed her. Of course, that's not really a problem now.
Stop that, Dio. I would have chosen Ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent. And I trust him.
Really? Oh, this is interesting. If one of you guys picked Betray, we are gonna get a show.
Dio!
Ignore him. How do you and Phi plan to vote? You even gotta ask? Ally. Of course. Right, Phi?
I don't know about that. It's a difficult question.
What?
Well, if we choose Ally, and Kay chooses the opposite, then he'll have 9 points. He can go through the number 9 door whenever he wants. It's not as simple as just choosing Betray either. If Kay decides to ally for some reason, then you end up with 9 BP.
Or we should both choose Ally. Seems easy to me. You're planning on betraying me, aren't you, Dio? As soon as you go through that door, it will be only the 2 of you in that room. I have no doubt you could overpower Fee, and if you had the desire to. Give me a little credit. No one has more gentle points than me. Think someone of my stature would resort to violence? The nerve.
Listen, Dio could just stay out of the room and just 5-0. Like, that would be like the ultimate sign of trust. What? This is just a thought, but why don't all of you promise to choose Betray? You wouldn't have to worry about anything. If you knew the other person was going to betray you, you'd have no choice but to do the same. Seems pretty negative for you, Luna. I'm sorry. Nothing to apologize for. We appreciate your suggestion and we'll take it into consideration. But unfortunately, I don't think it's a very good idea. See, my goal is to beat this game. But, Phi... Maybe that wasn't the best way to put it. When I say I want to beat it, I mean defeat it completely. I want to get us all out of here. We haven't beat the Nonary game until we're all out of this place. Guess we won't all be getting out of here anymore. Oh, you mean Alice? Yeah. At any rate, all of us choosing Betray every time is hardly ideal. We'd never escape.
Then what are you going to do?
Kay needs to choose Ally. It's the only way.
How will you make sure I do that? I have no guarantee that you'll choose Ally as well.
Would you do it if I could give you that guarantee?
Well, Yes, I suppose so.
You promise?
Yes.
Good. Let's do this. Yo,
Huh?
there's someone behind you.
What? The moment Dio turned his head, Vi was off. With seemingly superhuman strength, she leapt through the air, across the room, and through the AP gate. What the fuck? You bitch! God damn it, Vi! Open this fucking door! I don't think she can open the door. We pounded on the door screaming, but it showed no signs of opening again. Fuck! He gave the door one last slam for good measure, then ran to the next open one. Invalid pair detected. Please retry with valid partner. Members of a pair cannot vote in separate rooms. What? Why the fuck not? This is against the rules. How am I supposed to vote? God. This is bullshit. I see. This is how I can guarantee your choice. Dio can't vote now, so the chance that Fi will choose Ally just went way up. After all, if you pick Ally and she betrays you, then Dio will have 9 points. Exactly.
But don't you think Fi might be worried that Kay will break this promise? After all, if he can be pretty sure that Fi is going to choose Ally, then...
You needn't worry. Her plan is very clever. I will definitely choose Ally. 2 minutes remain until polling closes. We don't have much time left. Let's go. Right.
Okay. Sigma?
Hmm?
You are going to choose Ally, right?
Of course. We both have 5 BP right now. Even if I did betray you, I'd only get 3 points. That's not enough to escape. So I'd have to wait until the next round anyway. Make sense?
Oh, I see.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. Anyway, you promised. You have to choose Ally.
Right, I will. Okay. What?
Nothing. I definitely did not think about how funny it would be to betray at this point.
30 seconds remain until polling closes. Now, what am I going to do? Well, I guess there isn't really any question. After all, I promised Luna that I'd pick Ally. But, what if she was lying to me?
I would have chosen Ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent. And I trust him.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're just always waiting until the last second, aren't we?
What are we doing? Ally?
Yeah. Listen, even if Luna betrays me,
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
she's my queen.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Watch Fi betray. Fi, no!